In recent years, technology has been advancing rapidly, especially in the world of mobile devices. For example, mobile phones, which were once only used for call and message, have now become versatile gadgets equipped with advanced cameras, fingerprint scanning features, and super fast internet access. Do you know that in the field of information and communication technology or ICT, standards are crucial? Why is this important? But before we get into that, let's discuss what standards mean in ICT. Standards are rules or guidelines that help different technology work together smoothly. Standards are very important to ensure that devices and services in information and communication technology or ICT can work together, stay consistent, remain protected from misuse, and have good quality. Furthermore, standards are also important because ICT devices come from various manufacturers around the world. Without standards, ICT services cannot be implemented internationally. Standards also play a crucial role in the development and sale of digital goods and services intended for the global market. There are several organizations and groups that establish and standardize ICT infrastructure protocols and operations. Some of them are based on international charters such as IPU, ETSI, and 3GPP. ITU is the world's oldest organization founded in 1865, responsible for standardizing telecommunication networks, equipment, technical interfaces, network management, services, and operations. Has the jury standards based on legal agreements and involved in regulating the use of radio spectrum. ATSI or European Telecommunication Standard Institute, established in 1988 as an independent standardization organization, focuses on standardization within the European Union and associated European countries, but also involves organization and industry from non-European countries. One of the most influential standards organizations globally in the field of information and communication technology, including the Internet of Things. 3GPP or Third Generation Partnership Project, responsible for developing standards for public cellular networks like 3G, 4G, 5G, and beyond, involved in developing Internet standards for application in cellular system and the Internet of Things or IoT. A partnership between major standardization organizations in the United States, Europe, and Asia. The resulting standards are open source standards. Furthermore, there are organizations and groups that define and standardize information and communication technology or ICT, infrastructure, protocols, and operations, with a focus on non-profit interests and dedication to specific standardization areas such as Internet Society, American non-profit organization promoting Internet standardization and policy, has no legal influence over the evaluation of ICT, but has current informal influence and hosts several unofficial standardization bodies. World Wide Web Consortium, or W3C, an independent organization managed by Tim Berners-Lee, creator of the World Wide Web, responsible for standard using web services and related technologies such as XML, HTML, HTTP, and HTTPS. Institute of Electrical and Electronic Engineers, or IEEE. The IEEE Standards Association, or IEEE-SA, develops standards for various technologies, including telecommunications. It creates standards like Ethernet, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and others. IEEE is a community of scientists and engineers involved in loosely developing standards and has a significant impact on local communication technology standardization. Standards have a significant impact on competition and the development of digital services in the market. Standards make these services appear like common goods, such as smartphones or internet access. This means users won't notice much difference between products or services from various companies. They compete more in terms of price rather than features. However, there are also standards that support variation, such as the World Wide Web standards. These standards enable the creation of various services that cater to different users. In a market without standards or many competing standards, monopolies may occur where consumers have to choose between technically incompatible services, making it difficult and costly to switch to another provider. This can also lead to one provider dominating the market due to network effects. Interoperability is crucial to the functioning of the Internet, enabling users to communicate with other users or websites without being limited by different technologies. To achieve this, technical standards and economic and legal agreements are needed to connect different ISP networks, including data traffic payments, responsibilities in case of network failures, and cooperation agreement. On the Internet, there are two network protocols that are not compatible, IPv4 and IPv6. IPv4 was introduced in 1983 and is still in use, while IPv6 has been ready for use since 2006. IPv6 adoption was initially slow, but has been rapidly increasing as it became the primary protocol in 4G and 5G mobile networks. This is due to the limitation of IPv4 addresses, which are insufficient for many IoT devices. Interoperability between smartphones and mobile networks is maintained through backward compatibility, allowing 4G phones to access 2G and 3G networks. This is achieved by implementing interfaces and signal from all these standards in smartphones, made possible by rapid advances in the processing and storage capabilities of smartphones. To ensure backward compatibility, network operators must run at least 2G networks, and some have discontinued 3G networks in favor of faster 4G, but they still maintain GSM access for other standards. When we talk about standards, we must not forget about trust and security. Trust standards help users have confidence in our technology, while security standards protect our data and information from threats. In digital services, it's crucial for the parties involved to trust each other. This trust should be established in a secure manner. First, secure identification. Communicating parties should be able to securely verify their identities, such as using password or specific authentication methods. Second, non-repudiation. Receivers and senders of information should not be able to deny their involvement in the information exchange. This can be achieved using digital signatures on messages. Third, certification. Trusted third parties can verify ownership of cryptographic secrets, such as keys used for digital signatures, authentication, and encryption. Building such truths in the digital world is a complex task that involves many legal and security issues. Sometimes, even the third party that should be trusted might face challenges due to a lack of trust from other parties. An example that illustrates how costly competition between standards can be is the rivalry between the VHS and Betamax video recording standards in the 1970s and 1980s. Both of these standards had similar capabilities but were not compatible, and eventually VHS became the dominant market standard. The lesson to be learned from this case is that it is better for operators and manufacturers to collaborate first and then compete once the standards are agreed upon. This has been a successful approach in developing nearly all ICT standards over the last 30 years. The lesson to be learned from this case is that it is better for operators and manufacturers to collaborate first and then compete once the standards are agreed upon. This has been a successful approach in developing nearly all ICT standards over the last 30 years. Interoperability is the key factor in information and communication technology, or ICT. It enables different networks and devices to communicate, support innovation, and create business opportunities. International standards facilitate global interconnection and make the technology we use daily more accessible. All of this has opened the door for various types of businesses in the digital ecosystem. So, do you already understand the importance of standards in IT? Next, we will explain what the long tail is. So, please watch the following video. Check it out! Hello friends, before going into further material, do you know what the long tail means in digital economics? Do you know who coined this term and why it exists? Curious? Let's discuss in the next video. This term was coined by Chris Anderson, a renowned figure in the business world and a famous author. Let's start by understanding what the long tail is. In a digital economy, the long tail refers to goods or services that are not in high demand, like popular products. Imagine a physical bookstore with limited space. They can only display highly popular books. However, in a digital world like Amazon, millions of less popular books can be available because there are no physical limitations. However, in the digital world like Amazon, millions of less popular books can be available because there are no physical limitations. And here's the interesting part. Even though each product in the long tail may not receive significant attention, when combined, they can generate substantial sales. Amazon, as one example, gets a lot of revenue from products in this long tail. So, remember that in the digital world, the opportunity for success is not just limited to popular products. The long tail has significant potential to change the game. The long tail is a phenomenon in the internet business world where products or services with low demand can generate significant sales due to low production, storage, and distribution costs. This is made possible by the efficiency of information search on the internet and providing many choices to customers. Businesses offering products in the long tail benefit from increased sales and customer satisfaction. Examples of the application of the long tail include the music industry with services like Spotify that offer access to millions of songs, the banking industry with microloans provided by banks like Grameon in Bangladesh, and crowdsourcing on Wikipedia, involving contributors from diverse backgrounds. In addition to large companies like Amazon benefiting from the long tail, individuals can now start their own e-commerce business and compete in both markets. The long tail in numerical analysis is a concept that refers to a statistical distribution where the majority of events occur far from the main values in that distribution. In statistics, the long tail distribution is a special case of a heavy tail distribution, characterized by a slower decrease than exponential decay. In this context, the long tail distribution is often used to explain phenomena where a large number of items or events have low frequency, while only a few have high frequency. For example, the sales popularity of books on Amazon follows a long tail distribution pattern, where a significant number of books have low sales, while only a few books are highly. In this case, the law is one of the laws used to describe the long tail distribution. This law assumes that there are some items that are very popular or hate, and many other items that are less popular or tail. Long tail numerical analysis allows you to understand how much the long tail contributes to total sales or overall distribution. Using the plow, we can estimate how large the long tail of the overall distribution is. This has important implications in a variety of fields, including economic, technology, and network analysis, where understanding long tail distribution can aid in decision making and strategic planning. Spotify, a leading music streaming platform, is a successful example of implementing the long tail concept in the digital music industry. They provide millions of songs from various genres, including less popular ones, using a recommendation algorithm to help users find music according to their preferences. In addition, the router size distribution on the internet and the connectivity of the World Wide Web page also had a long tail, which has an important impact on its robustness and vulnerability. Digital businesses have zero marginal product costs, with no cost of producing, storing, or distributing goods. allowing companies to sell digital products without limits on quantity. Amazon has successfully implemented this strategy. Most of their revenue comes from long-term sales of books that are not available in physical stores. The concept of long-tail distribution in the digital economy is relevant in strategic business planning. It can be estimated using various statistical distributions, such as zip-fin. Additionally, the size distribution of routers on the Internet and the connectivity of World Wide Web web pages have a lasting impact on the resilience and vulnerability of those structures.